Welcome to Talk with Paula. I'm Paula Van Gilder from PA's Way for Mental Health and Addiction Awareness. I am so happy today with my guest. I have Jennifer here from Jasper Forest, which I am so excited as I continue with my segment for wellness and well-being. Several announcements I want to make is as we continue, I do have a mom's group forming that have adults, younger kids, adult children that are in recovery, so we can all be together. I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and now we are going to be starting a support group. So if you are interested also in coming on and joining, please let me know. My email address will be at the bottom. I am going to do a mom's weekend in May, in May, actually on Lake Pauline. I do have an upcoming interview with Andy Goldman and Turning Point in addiction in recovery. And we are still doing our fundraiser. At this time, I do want to commend my son, who's recovering from addiction. And I've gone through the journey. I've done the walk. And I was, thank you, I was living in fear, basically. And mamas that understand loved ones, when you see your loved one hurting and see what they're doing, it's hard. I'm a mom that refused to give up, and I'm beyond proud. I can't even put into words. As he's recovering from addiction in his own way, but also doing it in an amazing way. And hope in someday that he'll join me as a guest and we can talk about it. Because when I see actually what someone in addiction goes through and the impact it has on a family, it's a huge, I mean, we may read about it, see stuff, but until you're actually walking the walk for the family as well as the person that's going through the addiction, you can't put words to it unless you're going through it. With that, thank you, sister. In that, which I'm so grateful and excited, I did have, I asked Jennifer to come on. And Jennifer, as many as you know, if you're familiar with Jennifer, she's from Jasper Forest in town. And I was actually told about Jennifer, I have to wipe stuff off my face, told about Jennifer from Sue and Dan, because they actually made a piece of furniture for us. And she was in our house one day and delivering, and she noticed I have crystals in the house. And she's like, have you been to Jasper Forest? This is when you were at your old place. And she goes, Paula, you would love it there. And I have to tell you, from day one when I met you, actually that's how I kind of met even Soul, who's been on here before, and it's kind of been like a trickle thing, but thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I remember, prime example, she just handed me this, but I remember from the first time I met you, you were open, you opened your heart. You took me actually to your studio upstairs and we just chatted. You were unpacking a box, and just took the time to just, and I felt there, that's how we connected, but it was such an amazing feeling. And she gave me this stuff, it's called You Got This. I love it. And I'm gonna let Jennifer take over, and I'm actually gonna have her explain this too, because this is my little drop. I mean, I just fill it and do I'm actually running out too. It's amazing. And it's just kind of this quick I don't know how you can explain it, but a relaxation. But Jennifer, welcome. I am so blessed to have you, and thank you, honey.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm so excited.
Oh, I just got goosebumps.
Goosebumps are good.
In my eyes, remembering when we first met and that time in the studio, and feeling our connection and listening to you share that from your heart and sharing your story about your son. And you know, I've heard you say so many times how proud you are of him. And I hope you're proud of yourself too.
I am.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage. And you're really brave. You're really inspiring to me.
Thank you.
And a lot of other people.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Just acknowledging and honoring that and honoring you and all that you are and all that you do.
Thank you.
So,
it means a lot.
Thank you. So you got this. That's like my lifeblood. That's one of our products in the shop that's made by my friend Julie. We've led retreats together, and she has, her brand is called Bioluminescence, and she is gifted, I say, as the highest compliment ever, that she's from another dimension. She communes with the plant spirits and the flowers and
I love it.
And gems and minerals, and that's actually a combination of flower essences that she's made. That she makes individual essences and then makes these cosmic synergy essences. And You Got This has been really my saving grace for years. So anytime I can share it with someone. She also makes a roll-on that has essential oils in it as well. And then a spray, which is a combination of the essential oils and essences. But people in the shop always, you know, open it and smell it like it's an essential oil or something. And I tell them, you know, it all smells the same. And what it is kind of similar to the way when people ask, how do crystals work for healing, or how do flowers work for healing? And there's so many schools of thought, so I'm just going to share mine. But everything is vibration. Yeah. Everything is vibration. We all vibrate at a certain frequency. You and I, when we connected or we're sitting in the presence of each other, we're not even thinking about it, but our energies and our vibrations are just doing this dance. They're like trying to match, you know, so that whenever we're around something, or we pick up a crystal, or we're in nature or anything, we're matching that vibration, and that's where the healing properties of crystals or flowers. She makes gem essences too, and essentially, she has gem essences, and I sell them at my store. And essentially, the flowers are put in water, or the gemstones are put in water, and that frequency, that vibration, charges the water, or scientifically speaking, it changes the molecular structure of the water, and imparts its healing qualities, vibration, frequency, magic, if you will, into the water, and then the flower and or the gemstone is removed from the water and then stabilized. In this case, she uses brandy to stabilize it, and sometimes glycerin. So the flower essence is ingestible, and so it has a little bit of brandy in it and or glycerin, depending on which line you're working with. And you can put some under your tongue like you did, but then you can also put it in the bathtub, put it in the diffuser, and it's not going to change the smell of anything. I put it in my tea before. But it's going to infuse the room and the water. You could put it in tea, or you can put it on gemstones. You can anoint your energy centers or your chakras. It's really, she calls them nature's liquid light workers. Yeah. So the only limit is your creativity. And in You Got This is a combination of confidence, cosmic support, surrender, expansion, activator. So, in fact, I've been working with the individual essence of surrender recently. And then she channels these beautiful cards that go with them. But this is just one of many handmade and locally made products. Julie did live in Vermont. She lives in Connecticut now and actually has a store of her own, wellness center
awesome.
called Hidden Gem on Main down in Wallingford,
Nice.
Connecticut,
Nice.
if you're ever down there. And she just started a blending bar as well, where you can blend, you can choose flower essences and essential oils.
Oh, what a great
and when she starts duplicating that, maybe we'll get a blending bar at Jasper Forest.
Nice.
And everyone can make their own custom blends of things. But I've kind of lost count recently, but we have roughly around 40 local artisans, artists, herbalists, mostly women and moms. Actually, it just kind of happens to be that way. And that sell everything from, or that make everything from jewelry, clothing, teas, candles, CBD.
I love that.
Pottery. You know, there's just, I'm scanning my store right now. There's so dream catchers, art. There's so many beautiful things, and I'm so humbled to know these people. I'm so inspired by Angie's paper art that she makes.
Yeah.
Those prayers. I mean, people just pouring their heart and soul into what they create is so inspiring. You know?
I love, I don't mean to interrupt, but
No,
I
please do.
love when you go into your store. So if you haven't been to Jennifer's store, Jasper Forest in Ludlow, please go in, because I guarantee you, right when you walk in the door, there's a feeling that it's just, it feels good. It gives you like a, and I remember one time you were so busy with clients and I just sat over near your crystals and just sat there like,
well, and that's the
So,
intention.
yeah.
You know, there's a lot of intention and energy that goes in behind the scenes. And I often find myself saying, it's not about the stuff, really, or the services even.
Yeah.
It's about the space.
Yeah.
It's about what I've been doing this. I had my first wellness center, Piece of Paradise in Chester in 2010, and was practicing out of another wellness center before that. But over the years now, I've learned I create space.
Beautiful space.
And my intention is to create a safe, sacred space where people can come in and do exactly what you did.
Yeah. Just
Take a deep breath, relax, maybe let some of those worries or fears kind of roll off their shoulders, and receive exactly what they need for their highest healing good by being more connected with your inner guidance and your higher guidance. And that doesn't always mean buying something. It might mean just having your own moment in the store, connecting with someone else. It's so humbling for people to come into my shop and say, you know, I had such a stressful day, and I told my coworkers, as soon as I get off work, I'm going to Jasper Forest.
Yeah.
And
I've heard that actually, because Rose that works at the town, absolutely loves you. And she actually connected me as well. Not only did I know about it, but she had said to me prior, Paula, do you know, have you been in there yet? And I'm like, no, but so to me, that's huge, because I'm like, good energy.
And if that's, you know, that is, and I'm so grateful that people are sharing that feedback, because that just confirms my path, that I'm doing something, you know, purposeful and helpful. And that's also another theme in my life is I'm devoted to service, you know, and that's why I've recently had some conversations about, you know, why I'm here and I do what I do. And I didn't get into this field to create an empire. You know, I got into this field to help people feel better. You know, to help people on their health and healing path. There's just as many paths as there are people on the planet. So I'm not here to preach one. I'm here to create and hold space for people to have that free will, that freedom, that curiosity, that empowerment to explore their own path, whatever that means for them. So,
well, thank you for doing what you do, and thank you for a beautiful shop.
Thank you. And then we have the studio upstairs as well. I think sometimes people think because it wasn't a retail shop before, it was just a yoga studio, go with the flow under Tish's ownership, that it's just a retail store now. So some people, you know, haven't even realized that there's yoga. So I put a new yoga flag outside recently this week, and there's a beautiful studio upstairs where not just yoga is offered, but different offerings like sound baths and sound healing and yoga nidra and different workshops. Charlotte just did an EFT, emotional freedom technique tapping workshop.
Which I love. There's another one you have coming up that I wanted to do, and I'm like, you have all these stuff, and I'm like, you have something this weekend coming up. The 18th.
So the 18th or the 20th, Charlotte's doing a yoga nidra sound bath with her new crystal bowls.
Oh, I forgot what this one was.
But I'll have to check my own Instagram.
Yeah, because I ended up looking at something. I'm like, oh my God, that looks amazing.
So I just did a little post of what we have upcoming. Yoga Nidra and Sound Bath with Charlotte McFarlane. That's on the 20th. Love Matters workshop.
That was the one.
With Margaret.
Yeah.
Yep, that is on the 25th. So
okay. I'm off
next Saturday, she's doing a workshop in the morning from 10 to 12, and then she'll be there from 12 to 6 doing life activation and light infusion sessions. Yeah. I've received a session from her, and I would highly recommend that. And then on the 26th, the Sunday morning after, I'll be doing a crystal journey and sound healing meditation with my antique singing bowls here.
Nice.
And then my friend Jed and his friend Kirk are coming on March 11th to do a whole sound massage experience. He plays the handpan drum. They played at my crystal show in the new location about a year ago in one of his bands with the handpan.
Nice.
And then they'll have singing bowls and gongs and the handpan, and it's going to be a magnificent, immersive sound experience. He said, oh, you know, maybe if there's room, you can come. And I said, I'm paying for a spot. I'm coming. I'm not going to have this at my store and not be able to come. So I don't know if that sounds selfish as the owner or not, but I'm paying. I'm paying for a spot. I'm not just waltzing in for free. So I did bring this card deck called The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein, and thought we could pick this. I just was excited to come and just play with you. So I thought we could pick a card for some inspiration and some guidance.
Do you want me to pick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Does it matter? No, we're good?
No, it doesn't. There's no right or wrong.
See, that's what I love about you. When I first met you, you're like, Paula, there's no right or wrong about anything.
No.
Oh? I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love.
I picked that card this morning. I love that. Let's see. My capacity to tune in to the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost.
Oh, I like that too.
I do too. There's a lot of great messages. I have a lot of different card decks, inspirational oracle and card decks in the store as well, and fair trade, gifts, statues are all hand carved overseas. These singing bowls are antique, 70 to 100 years old. I was guided to bring the heart chakra. And my friend that I get them from, him and his wife lived overseas. They were teachers, so they made all these beautiful connections there. And he started a jewelry line, which is this ruby ring, and his wife has a clothing line. And then they employ people who they met and pay them a fair wage and get some really beautiful, auspicious items from Buddhist monasteries. And
oh, see, I love that.
some really special things. I always think of who played this before me. This is 70 years old, and it's a heart chakra bowl. It's all hand hammered, traditional 7 metals. And he said that the sound waves travel anywhere from 2,000 to 3,500 miles, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not super technical, but they travel far, so they'll clear you to the heavens and beyond. Yeah. And so, you know, when you were reading your when you were sharing what you wrote to your son, my instinct, you know, I put my hand on your shoulder, but I kind of wanted to come and stand behind you and give you some Reiki and some energy healing to your back. But I also just wanted to give you the space to allow you to say what you needed to say and do what you need to do without.
But the thing is, with your touch,
you know, invasive,
your touch kind of made me. Oh, so that was good.
Oh,
that was good.
I'm glad. Good. So I'll play this bowl for your heart chakra as well.
Oh, I love that.
We'll bring it around to the front too. The vibration, it's like a little sound massage. And a little hands-on touch for you if you want. If
Yeah,
you don't mind, if
absolutely.
you're okay with that.
I'm
so
very,
one of the forms of energy healing that I do is Reiki, which a lot more people are familiar with that now. I've been practicing for 14 years and been teaching for 13. And but then I channel also other forms of energy as well, so I can compartmentalize with just magnified healing or Reiki or Diksha or symbols that channel through me that came to me about 15 years ago that have been wanting to be utilized recently as well. Or, you know, I tell people as far as I call it integrative energy healing work, where we could just do the works where, you know, if you just let me free flow, whatever kind of energy from the fifth dimension comes through. I use singing bowls and tuning forks and crystals, and I have it all on my website, jasperforest.com, where it's kind of divided up to crystal alignment therapy and magnified healing, Reiki, the different kind of modalities if you want to learn more information, but just a little bit on your heart, because I love you so much.
Oh, honey, you're awesome. That's what I love about her. You have such good energy. It's like, oh.
Okay, put my hand on the front.
Is it weird that I just felt like this in there? Is that a weird, that was kind of good.
Nothing is weird. Nothing, I always say that when people come in my store too. Nothing is too weird or off limits to say or feel. You feel how you feel. And how you feel.
That was a good feeling. I was like, it was kind of like something was unraveling. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I'm like, wow, that felt really,
And it was just a little quick touch, you know, for the sake of the show, but while you were also,
but
you know, sitting
I don't want to
here,
say
I've
vulnerable,
been
but
sharing.
I just kind of like shared something very personal, even though I shared with you in a confidential, like about a year and a half ago, maybe, right? About that?
I think so.
Yeah. And so, that felt, thank you, honey.
Oh,
You're the best.
Welcome. I'm so humbled and honored.
You are
and
such a
grateful
good
to be
woman.
able to share healing energy with people and to connect with people. And I think that's why I still, you know, I'm kind of old school or old fashioned with the brick and mortar business. A lot of people are selling crystals online and selling a lot of crystals online, doing the live Instagram sales. And I've tried that a few times, and it's just really awkward for me.
I was just like, that's.
I love connecting with people that come in, you know, and people have said, oh, why don't you get, you know, a teenager to work the register or something so that you can, you know, do your sessions in the room while you're open. And it's like, I do all the stuff that, you know, it's still a business, and there's things that, you know, aren't always fun to do behind the scenes with the business. And I feel like I do all of those things so that I can arrive behind the register when I'm open, Thursday through Saturday from 12 to 6 at the moment, with appointments available anytime. And connect with people.
I think that's the biggest thing, because like I said, if you haven't been into the shop, please do, because you will automatically feel, especially if you're really open to it too. That's how I look at it. If you're very open, I mean, you're going to feel energy anyways, but if you're also one that's receptive to it, you definitely will feel it. And I sure did, because like I said, I was probably, when I went down there one time, probably about a year and a half ago, I was actually in the crystal corner because you were with clients. And you had some break time. We went upstairs, you unloaded some boxes, and I just felt, literally from the way I felt going in there then to how I felt when I left, I was like, I love that girl. So yeah, thank you.
It was love at first sight.
Yeah.
And that's also, I honor everyone's free will. So if people are not open to receiving when they come in, they won't. It'll just kind of roll right by them.
Yeah.
So
that's what I love too, because you're not like
I don't force
pushy or anything like that, and it's awesome.
Like I said, there's a different path for everyone on the planet, and everybody is on their own journey and in their own place. There's nothing that's ahead, behind, above, below, better, worse.
Yeah.
It's just we're all where we're at. We're all just where we're at, you know, and here we are right now.
Yeah.
So I don't force anything on anyone. That's definitely not my style.
No, not at all. So share what else you've got. I know you got a couple. You brought your crystal, you got your oils,
a few
you
things.
got your...
I did bring some Taylor Farm CBD. This salve I love. That's a combination of CBD and arnica. Molly Wright makes this right out of Londonderry, Vermont. Taylor Farm. And I did bring a few other flower essences and essential oils, but the new exciting thing we're talking about, and I just put it out there and I posted a newsletter yesterday and the day before, is that Jasper Forest is getting an oxygen bar.
Which I'm so excited.
So, and you happen to know about
because I
oxygen.
told Jennifer, I said, you know, I have not done an oxygen bar since I went to the pyramid and I came home with a cannula. Actually, Dave, my husband, has a picture of me because we did the, what's that room? We did the salt cave. And we did the salt cave. We kind of did a whole day of it. It was quite fun because my husband's quite a fun guy. He was, I'm trying to relax and chill, and Dave's like winging rocks at me. I'm like, really? I'm trying to zone right now. And then we went out, and then they had the whole oxygen bar, and I was telling Jennifer, I said, I still have my cannula at home, the little nose piece thing.
The nose hose.
But I'm like, this is awesome. So when she told me you were doing this, I was like, oh, thank you, because I haven't done one. Honestly, it was probably 2 years before COVID, so maybe 2018 was the last time I did it, so I'm psyched.
Yeah.
And please explain what an oxygen bar, how the benefits are.
Yeah, and even speaking of COVID, I feel like it's going to help a lot of people who have had COVID, who are still having respiratory issues, and also smell and taste issues. I've seen some clients who, even after almost 2 years of having COVID, still don't have their smell back. And so, and that's come up with some of the aromatherapists that I know. Julie is an aromatherapist, and then the essential oils that I carry, Aramed, they're hand poured in Montpelier, so they're all locally produced as well. She sources them from all over the world, but she knows her stuff. She's even done some workshops on trying to help people kind of, I guess, retrain their sense of smell by using essential oils. So the oxygen bar has oxygen. It converts the air in the room or outside to 95% oxygen. So you get this concentrated oxygen in your lungs, but it also has an aromatherapy component. So you can choose an essential oil, whether you want an essential oil for energy or relaxation or meditation or even an aphrodisiac.
Oh, well, there you go.
So different scents that you can choose. And so it's great for that. I mean, you name it, oxygen is good for it.
Oh, yeah.
But especially here for Okemo and being in a ski town, it's great for high altitude.
Yep.
For sports recovery. So after a day of skiing, it helps give you energy so that you can continue skiing, so you can continue hanging out if you don't ski, just so you can have energy to be awake and alert. You know, a lot of us are running on empty here. So it gives you a little boost of energy. It helps mental clarity, boosts brain activity, because when you get more oxygen to the, not just to the lungs, but to the brain, the tissues, the organs, the cells, everything functions better. So, and you know what? It's a great hangover cure too.
Oh,
so,
that's good to know.
So after, I mean, skiing, drinking, and the cool thing is that the oxygen bar that is literally on its way here to Vermont as we speak is portable. So I'll have it set up in the shop during the day, and maybe I'll even end up changing my hours and staying open late.
Because I was just going to say,
yeah, and staying open late or having it on the deck when it's warmer.
That's a great idea. Oh,
yeah,
that's a great idea.
yeah. So doing that, but also, you know, last year I used to vend at festivals and do hair feathers.
Yeah.
And bring a bunch of crystals and different things, and from our artisans back when I had Piece of Paradise. And last year, I said, you know, next year I got to go where the people are. But to be honest, you know, schlepping all the little crystals, you put them at risk too for breaking every time.
Yeah.
And doing the hair feathers. My friend Emily is doing the hair feathers now. She was so sweet. When I moved to New Jersey, she reached out to me and said a lot of people were asking about hair feathers. And she has the Community Art Garden in Chester.
Nice.
She does some beautiful work with children. She's such a beautiful light in the world, sharing her gifts. And she said, hey, would you mind if I did the hair feathers? And I was like, oh, out of all the people in the world, like, I would love to hand over the hair feather torch to you. And that's just not, I do hair feathers at my store, but it's not something when I was thinking of as far as going and vending at festivals and farmers markets.
They're so beautiful.
They're so beautiful.
Yeah,
you know, and it's
really
not just about being pretty. You know, actually, when I first started, my background is in psychology and working with teens. In fact, I was a case manager for teenage mothers on Vermont's Reach Up program for the Parent-Child Center in Springfield back in the day. And I have this passion for, you know, helping empower teenage girls. And my first customer at Piece of Paradise in 2010 was a teenager. I think she was about 12 at the moment, but she was wise beyond her years. And they always came to hang out at the store, and empowerment group ended up forming.
That's a great idea.
Teens. And I've been trying to get it going here, but there's been some things that have prevented it, and it might not materialize here. But just putting that energy out there, someone else might do it, or it might be at a different location. Who knows? But the hair feather started by, I just got 20 of them to do an activity with the teen girl group at my old store to empower our inner goddess, to talk about, you know, I'm too deep for my own good sometimes, I say, but it's not just about the look. They're all cleansed and they're Reiki infused, and I do energy healing on people when I put them in, and it's the rooster feathers. So I'm really into the spiritual, indigenous kind of totem animal medicine of animals, as far as what they can offer us energetically and how we can, again, kind of connect with their energy.
Nice.
And the roosters are, you know, just picture a rooster. They walk around, they're confident.
Like strutting their business, like.
They're confident. So it helps us be more confident. It helps us embrace our own eccentricities. It's also a solar symbol. You know, they wake up every morning and they crow with the sun, and they're protective of the flock. So, and they also are community connectors. So when I put these feathers in these girls' hair, I started having all these people come back and say, we saw these feathers in these girls' hair, and they said they got them here and we want them. I said, oh, I don't do hair feathers. It was just a thing. And they were, a lot of them were struggling with self-esteem and stuff. And so by being out in the world and people coming up and saying, oh, I love your feather. And then it's starting this conversation and connection, and boosted their self-esteem. And they came back just lit up, happy about that. And people started coming. So I said, oh, I guess I do hair feathers.
That is an amazing idea, because I know right now, and as much as you just said, and this is what I do, you're talking, my brain's going, But right now, the younger kids are having a tough time, even more so since COVID. And I had talked about that quite some time, and I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. Even do like feathering You gave me like,
yeah, I love it. I love
I'm
it.
like sitting here going,
when we connect, we get inspired.
yeah, I'm like, good idea.
I love it. I love it. Yeah,
I love it.
All of that. And that's ended up how I got invited to do music festivals and everything initially. Is I had some friends planning some music festivals and they asked if I would come and do hair feathers. So naturally, like I kind of did today, you know,
she brings her stuff.
I brought hair feathers and hula hoops. I used to make hula hoops and drums and all the local artisans products. And my son was a toddler then, so I'd set up a tent. I'd have him on my back. I'd set up a tent for him to nap in. I don't even know. Do you ever look back at things that you did and
it's
wonder,
funny.
How did I do that?
It's funny. I used to work, it reminds me of when Jeremiah, my kid, both of my kids, it's funny. They're both, cleaning people, but he's my clean freak. It's awesome because I remembered when I was working at the hospital up in Burlington on the side before I went in my shift, I would put him in my backpack and clean. I'm cleaning with my baby.
I did that with Dylan at the ski shop.
Baby
I did that. I managed a ski shop and I put him on my back. I'd set people up. I just go about my business,
and my poor little man would just kind of lean over once in a while, like, "Hi, Mom."
I know.
You know, and play with my hair, and I'd be going about. But you know, it's funny. He's what, 30, going to be 31, and boy still likes to clean.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, as a mama,
kid loves to ski and snowboard.
As a mama, you just kind of go with the flow.
Well, you've got it. We still, you know, have
my girl
our life
loves
doesn't
crafts
stop.
and stuff because that's when, you know, I wasn't throwing 2 kids on my back, but
one on the
funny.
front, one on the back.
Yeah.
You know, so
I'm excited for this.
Yeah. So last night, I have the big oxygen bar that is also going to be portable. So I'm going to set it up at, you know, restaurants, bars, go where the people are in Ludlow, but also beyond Ludlow. And I've reached out as far as to get in, you know, at the base of Okemo for the après ski. Scene,
nice,
you know,
nice.
And even other mountains and everything. And then in the summer, farmers markets, festivals, and also it'll be available for private parties.
I was just going to say, how fun would that be at a wedding?
As well, yeah, definitely. I have a friend who's a DJ. I was like, loop me in, and I already do private offerings for people. I specialize. I mean, it just kind of ended up unfolding that way in bachelorette kind of parties,
love that
girls'
idea.
weekends. So I go to people's homes and Airbnbs and create a whole experience with them, whether it's a private customized yoga class or meditation or both, or sound bath with the bowls, or all three. We just kind of create, or they come to the studio and have their experience there. And I do whole weekends as well, retreats. And then I actually had lined up my first international retreat, week-long, in the Dominican Republic for the spring.
Good for you.
But I'm taking a step back. Hopefully I'll end up there. I want to scope out the scene a little bit more and then maybe have that in the fall, because I've been talking about that for 15 years. I've said I want to do 6 week-long retreats, 2 in Vermont, 2 overseas, and 2 maybe in Colorado where I'm from, but I'm unattached to it all. And like I said in my newsletter, even about the oxygen bar, because I wanted to get an oxygen bar when I had Piece of Paradise. That was in 2010, and I laughed because I'm like, anyone that knows me knows I don't rush the process. I trust the process.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that.
Here we are. So it came back through again when I was thinking, you know, I have a very specialized kind of niche market. And no matter how popular crystals and Reiki and energy healing become, because it is becoming more mainstream now, there's still, you know, a small population kind of that comes in my store, and people come to Ludlow to really ski, eat, you know, drink, not really shop, but I mean, we've been having a lot of people find out about us. Is there anything I can help? What am I doing? Let's see, so I have the big oxygen bar, and then I was tempted to get this little mini system. So the oxygen hasn't come yet, and I hesitated to bring it here today because this is just the aromatherapy aspect of it. And then I'll have a oxygen concentrator hooked up to this one and have a separate oxygen concentrator hooked up to the big one. But I thought, you know, one, if I don't want to bring the whole thing sometime, I can bring this. The big oxygen bar services 8 to 12 people at a time, though. So, you know, people are traveling in groups.
That's a honker.
And parties, and exactly. But then this is just for 2 people. And So we have, this is the aromatherapy part right now, and then we'll have the oxygen. But I figured we could play because
I like
it came
playing
here last night, and my son and I did it. So we have our little containers with a little bit of water, and then I brought an assortment of essential oils that you might want to choose from, and we'll put a few drops in there, and we can put some flower essences, and we can even put a crystal in there, because why not?
This is fun.
And then
I need a little balance.
we'll do a little
See that?
aromatherapy.
Little balance
So
going on.
total-
I don't know where you are.
Total, you'll put about 6 to 10 drops in.
Ooh.
So if you want to do
Can I
all
mix?
balance, but you can mix, which is why I'm telling you 6 to 10 drops. So if you'd like to mix and match, you can. And I brought a lot of combination essences. So
Look at me, I'm just going to town.
We'll add, yeah, this is fun.
I got a little balance going on, and then I've got a little safe and sound.
I love the safe and sound.
Oh, that smells good.
I think that's what I might go for too.
Wow. Is it okay to like mix them up? I'm gonna have a lot of action going on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
It's
like that. That
perfect.
one's nice.
You know, and especially because this has bergamot, lavender, orange, cedarwood,
Oh.
and petitgrain.
Little headache relief.
That's what I did.
What is this?
And
Hold
then
on, I
we'll
gotta
be good
figure
to
out.
go.
That's a nice smell.
So some essential oils for the aromatherapy, and then for the energy, I'm going to put a little expansion. I've been working with Surrender. You can even put You Got This in there.
Oh, love.
As far as for the energy. So I've been working with Surrender, but then the expansion caught my eye. So I'm going to put a few drops of expansion and maybe Surrender as well. Maybe even intention, maybe we'll
I don't know. I
just-
got a lot going on right now. Now I'm
Well,
super
you know,
excited.
when people say that, whether it's about my store or, you know,
No,
we do-
this is
Or
good.
this, we do have a lot going on. We all,
I
mean,
love,
most of us.
and I honestly have to say this, I'm going to repeat this. If you haven't gotten any, this, I can't explain this. I have used this on a few situations, and I would almost say, give it a try. Because it's called You Got This, and it's amazing. So I'm following you because I'm not
Yes,
sure what
so
I'm
do you
doing.
want any flower essences? Oh, you put You
No,
Got
I got
This
all
in
my
there.
business in
And
there.
I can help you.
Yes, please, because I
hook
don't
you
need
up,
to.
Because it's actually the opposite.
Oh, I'm
Instead of
fine.
righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, it's righty-loosey, lefty-tighty.
You go that way. Do what she does. I'm more intrigued to watch you. I'm like, okay, I don't remember how to put this jobby on.
And you know, I didn't watch the little video, but I figured it out. And get this. So when we put that down, press that button right there. And press it again and again, and you can choose your favorite color. So this is also light therapy.
see,
as
I
well.
would
Color
do this in my
therapy.
room.
Color
See, I'd want
therapy.
one of these in my room just to kind of zone.
Well, I
like the
thought, oh,
blue.
maybe I might need to start selling these little personal
I'm
machines.
thinking-
So I figured if people want, so I'll have the oxygen bar for 8 to 12 people in the store, but if people want more of a private experience,
Yeah.
then they can come into my private room. They can lay
And zone.
put on some headphones for some binaural beats. I might finally get an amethyst biomat with amethyst crystals and
Nice.
far infrared healing.
Really?
Where
Oh,
you
I
can
didn't
just
know
lay
that.
on the table, receive some oxygen, aromatherapy, some binaural beats, which are amazing as well. And then get up and you're good to go. Or also people can do this while I do some hands-on energy healing and integrate the sound and everything too. So, so really just what you do is you put these in your nose. They don't go very deep. It's not like a COVID test. And then you
Okay.
just, like you're
Wrap
putting
it
your
around.
hands behind,
Yep.
like your hair behind your ears. So you put it there, and then you have this little adjustment, kind of like headphones if you need to slide
shit.
this up or down.
Shit. Hold on, sister.
I can help you too if
Yeah,
you
I'm
want.
like-
It just goes in just a little bit.
Here we go. I'm trying to like stick it in the hole. Hold on. I got this,
Here.
sister.
You
Kind
got
of.
this, and I got this too. I got you.
Yeah, thanks. Can you? Hi.
I got
Did
you.
I do it?
I got you. Yeah, it just goes in a little bit. Perfect. And then you have this little slidey thing if you want a little more space. And then we'll turn it on. And you just
Awesome.
breathe normally. And then you have it bubbling. and we'll just sit back and relax, and we
Just
can
chill.
still talk.
So anyways,
we can laugh.
how you doing?
Because this is how everybody's going to look in Ludlow out at the bars at night with the cannulas, the nose hoses on. We're all gonna...
So what's going on? I like this though. Oh my God, I did a good combination.
And you can take a few deep breaths. You know, we can sit here, we can close our eyes.
Now, can you, the thing is with this, when you turn it on, can you turn it up more to get more, or does it just give a continual flow?
You can turn it up and down. So, but just one has to be on at all times as far as for the machine to flow through. So yours, it only goes a quarter of a turn. So this is lower, and then this is all the way high.
Oh, I like this.
Right? Because, I mean, imagine when we have the oxygen too.
You just gave me like a funny idea, because you're right next to Mina Mountain. Can you picture like all of them having their cocktail and then coming over just chilling with this on?
Yeah, I've got to talk to Justin.
I love that idea.
Yeah. And also
go drive down the main street and be like,
out by the fire pit.
See, I should have her come back and try this. Yeah. Do you hear me? I should have had you come back here and try this. It feels so good. I'm like,
So we can even take a few deep breaths. And the beautiful thing is the breath is such a powerful tool that we have access to for free, no matter where we are, no matter what time it is, no matter who we're with.
You know what? I love the smell, but I love listening to that. Do you know what I mean? It's like closing my eyes. Give me a blanket, I'm good.
Yeah, it's really relaxing.
Patrick will be like, Paula, please get out of the studio.
Like, oh, we're just breathing in some aromatherapy, and soon we'll be breathing in some oxygen, so you have to come and visit.
I like this.
Yeah, when we meet the breath where it is, without judgment, with compassion, with grace, then by meeting the breath where it is and trying to refrain from judgment or criticism, then maybe we can meet ourselves where we are in this moment as well, and give ourselves some compassion, some grace, some gratitude, some credit for all that we've done and all that we've been through and all that we've accomplished in our lifetime.
I am so relaxed right now. I'm like, oh my God.
I love that.
Did the lights just get dimmer? Is that just me?
They did. Now we're setting the mood.
What's happening to me?
And if you'd like, you can bring your hands into a mudra. I can give you a few different offerings simply by bringing the ring finger and the thumb tip to touch. That is a mudra or gesture for centering. So kind of calling all of our energy back to the center.
What do they call that? A mudra?
So a mudra is a gesture. And we do gestures all day, not even knowing. We clench our hands and fists, we shake hands with people, we pray. And so it's believed in yoga, because mudras are, it's hand yoga essentially, that the hands are a reflection of the mind. And so we do things with our hands that actually reflect our state of consciousness. Naturally, subconsciously, without even knowing or being aware. And then it's believed that imagining the hands like a circuit board, that by bringing our hands in certain gestures or mudras, by touching the tips of the fingers or the tops, however we do it, or the palms, that we can stimulate or activate a state of consciousness or a state of our mind. So this mudra, we see a lot of Buddhist statues and people meditating in mudras. And it's to help bring in a certain state of consciousness or awareness. So this mudra, and the Sanskrit name escapes me, but it's for centering. So just simply bringing the ring finger and thumb tip to touch, we can help center ourselves. So before you go into an interview or something that might be challenging, you can do this, take a few breaths and center yourself. I also like to use this to call back some of the energy that I've given away or might be leaking without my knowledge back to my center, whether that center is your heart or your belly or your root chakra and the base of the spine. There's no right or wrong. Just breathe and come back to your center. It's really that simple when we're present with it. And what if we can trust life like we trust the breath?
Yeah.
And speaking of trust, another mudra that I love is for self-trust, where you loosely interlace the fingers, and the index fingers are not really interlaced. The thumbs are facing upward, and if you bring the hands to the heart, this is a gesture for self-trust. So good to do maybe if you're doubting yourself or need to make a decision or receive some clarity around something. You can bring your hands into this position to your heart and remind yourself of your inner knowing, to trust yourself and trust your guidance that's here to help you navigate your path that's unique to you. So maybe we'll take a few more breaths together. Maybe even cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can sigh it out. Let any sound come out, releasing and letting go of control. Trusting yourself, trusting your path, trusting you're exactly where you are supposed to be. And being grateful for that. One last mudra, because it always helps to seal up any practice or meditation or yoga, is Anjali Mudra, or prayer pose, bringing the palms together. The thumbs might come to touch the center of the heart. The heart chakra, or the energy center, is Anahata chakra in Sanskrit, responsible for love of ourselves and others, forgiveness, mercy, compassion, empathy, self-esteem, our sense of self, our confidence and empowerment here. Leading with love and gratitude. This is the mudra for gratitude. I'm so grateful to be here.
I was going to say, I have a lot of it. Thank you. It's actually, as I'm sitting here, I'm like, God, she's a beautiful woman. And I thank you. I am so blessed that you joined me today. And it's just, this is a good thing to say, because you kind of were on the start of my journey. And I'm ending the wellness segment with you. Aww. Not that I even planned it, it just happened, and where I'm at right now. And I'm like, thank you.
Aww.
And I'm going to continue, and I'm blessed that I found you, you came into my world, and
it's my pleasure and honor.
Thank you.
I believe we all come into each other's worlds for a reason.
Yeah.
And
I could easily take a nap right now.
I always say it's positively and mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
You know, if we choose to see it that way, that's how I see it.
That's a good way to put it. If people see it that way, I can be, and I notice the more I've gone on my journeys, how I deal with stuff. Doesn't mean everybody else does, but how I do, I'm more responsive to certain people versus people that don't deal with stuff. I guess I'm trying to find the right way to say it.
Even
I don't judge, but it's just a weird, if I relate, it's like, oh, thank you. I'm totally like, you know, receptive. I feel energy. But if somebody's not into that and kind of their focus is totally different, I don't preach or anything. It's just, it's weird because I feel it.
Yeah,
That makes any.
It does.
I recognize it. I feel it. There's some people I can't even be near because I can't breathe, and that is weird for me. I have never been so in tune with that that I'm like, holy crap, man, I can't breathe around
and
you.
just using, and that's our guidance system. That's our intuition telling us, you know, what we need.
Yeah.
And that includes people and people's energies. But also recognizing and honoring the contrast too. The benefits of the contrast of what we don't want or desire or how we don't want to feel can also, it all guides us back to our truth. It really does. It all guides us back to our truth. And again, if we choose to see it that way, even that heartbreak, even that hurt, even that trauma, you know, even that tragedy, I'm not saying, you know, just sugarcoat it, look at it through rose-colored glasses. I've been accused of ignorance is bliss. And no, I let that, that pain, that suffering, that energy that, you know, doesn't feel, you know, like sunshine and rainbows move through me. But then I try to see it as some kind of blessing. Because I feel like, well, it's not that, because it can be misinterpreted as like that we deserve or that we did something to deserve something bad to happen to us. And no, I don't believe that, but there's something that no words can put, you know, to it that we don't know. No, because you're actually, I'm listening to you and I'm like. That's where the trust comes into play, that we say when life brings us to our knees. Literally, which I mean, I've been there. You've been there. I've been there. I've been there. And through my, why I started this. Many times. And I just said that the other day. I said, you know, I've been there many times and I'm sure that I'll be there again. I mean, it's just, that's this ebb and flow, this life it encompasses it all, the joy, the love, the heartache, the pain, the suffering. And I was just saying that I feel things so deeply, and sometimes I can get frustrated with that and myself, and it can feel hard. And I was talking to my therapist about that, and I thought, you know, I don't want to feel that deeply. But then as soon as I thought that kind of contrasting thought, I thought, no, because I'd rather feel all the joy and all the love and all the heartbreak and all the pain and all the suffering as deeply as I do than not feel anything at all. Or numb it. That's a good way to put it, because when I went through, because I have shared stuff with you, why I even started this, which was huge for me when I talked about mental health and addiction. I grew up in the family where everything looked perfect on the outside. Everything did. I mean, I'm talking everything. I also had a brother that was schizophrenic. I was abused by a brother that you just didn't talk about, period. I was in a very dysfunctional marriage. I've gone through, you know, journeys with, you know, family members, but I'm actually at peace though. And that is a feeling that, I guess my thing is why I started doing this is because I want other people to feel peace. It's like, we've all gone, we've all gone through, and we've all gone through stuff. But because it was part of your path. And it shaped who you are, this beautiful, compassionate, oh, thank you. Here I'm like, but no, but thank you. But do you know what I mean? Who is sharing, that's, you know, our stories. Sharing your story helps other people share their stories and helps other people recognize that they're not alone. When I hear people say, Paula, you've been so inspiring, especially since I've started doing this, I've had people reach out, and that's huge to me. It is.
Because I remember, and I'll keep saying this, if I said, if I can reach just one person, I've done what I wanted to do. I've reached quite a few, and that's such a good feeling. And I've connected with you. I've connected with some great people. And it's like, feeling good is a great feeling. And you got to trust yourself. I think trust is huge, especially the people that have had it broken. And this type of thing may not be for everybody.
No.
You know what I mean?
But
I have to tell you, it is for me. And this is the route I started taking when I started going on my journey, getting into therapy, blah, blah, blah. I got into doing the hypnosis, the chakras, the cranial sacral massages, crystals, smudging, and and then meeting amazing people like you and if you really understand what I'm saying, when I am near you or certain people, if you're genuine and I feel it. Do you know, I feel it, and it's such a good feeling because I can also be around people that I'm like, okay, but you know, that's I've had to learn myself. I can't control that. And so I just want to, thank you so much for coming in, being who you are. Again, Jennifer will have her information at the bottom of the screen. Reach out, check her store. And again, we do have some wonderful things moving ahead, and this has been one of my longer segments that I've done, but I have to tell you, I'm super psyched. And so don't take this wrong, anybody, because I've appreciated everybody that's come on, but I've saved the best for last. So, and that's huge for me.
I love
because, and I didn't even, you and I had talked, but I didn't plan how, but I'm like, this was my last segment for the wellness.
I didn't realize
before I move on to, and I'm blessed, and I thank you so much.
I'm so honored. I feel blessed too.
Thank you, honey. I love you. I love you. And so thank you. Thank you for Okemo TV for allowing me to continue to do Talk with Paula until they boot me out. And thank you again for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you another time. Thank you. Have a great day.